Welcome to Season 4 of Casual Camping Podcast, your home for the best camping discussion both in and out of the field. Here are your hosts, Tim and Ade.
Hello, you fine people. You're back with us again, I see. Well, welcome to another Casual Camping Podcast. I'm your host, Ade.
And I'm your host, Tim. Thank you so much for coming back. There must be something wrong with you to keep coming back this often, but welcome back to the Casual Camping Podcast. Podcast.
Tim's on form already, I see. Tim, stick one of them snacks in your gob and leave this to me.
It's been a busy day. I haven't had a lot to eat today. I think I'm on a sugar downer. I need... where's the Haribo?
Where's the Haribo? Get some beer down you, Tim. Get some beer down you.
Oh, true. I'm on a cup of tea.
Yeah.
I needed something really refreshing, so I made a cup of tea. Yorkshire, obviously.
Americans everywhere are going, what? That doesn't compute. Refreshing? Cup of muddy water? I hear you, don't get me wrong. I get it, but I also know that there'll be people going, no.
What are you drinking, Ed?
I'm the finest Budweiser.
Bird.
Yeah, it's been a very sunny day here in the UK, and it's just after Easter weekend, and it's been lovely. It's kind of one of those evenings that you just want to be down the pub, having a couple of beers, a nice spring. You know, it'll be still a bit chilly, so you might need to have a pub with a fire.
Yeah, it is that perfect evening, really, isn't it? I'd love right now to ditch this and go to the pub. Should we just put out a really short episode and just go? Boo?
Yeah. So,
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
We're joking. We're joking. Strap yourselves in. You're in for a full episode.
Oh, gosh. I'm not sure I'm ready for that, Tim.
I'm not touching or tapping anyone up this week. I listened to the episode the other day driving to and from work, and I have to say, made myself laugh quite a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was good. But yes, I do the same. I get me metaphors muddled up. What can I do?
Yeah.
So what have you been up to this week?
I have been working really hard. It's long days. I mean, Easter weekend was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Felt like it went on forever. Should have been camping, but we had too much other stuff on. But it was a really, really great weekend. And then it's straight back into work, and it's been busy as anything because we've got a doctor's strike in the UK, so no doctors anywhere. So I've been pretending to be 3 doctors, but it's been all right, you know.
Oh, which one of them wears the dress, though, Tim?
What, me, myself, and Irene?
Yeah, I was like, I've been 3 doctors. Ooh, what are their names? Anyway, before we digress any further, yeah, it's been great. And I have loved the socials this weekend with people that have been sharing where they've been up to. So if you haven't joined the socials, get on there, share your pictures. And it just really inspires people. Yeah. And just seeing people set up, we all camp differently. There's a couple of people that were like, don't have a go, but this is my setup. We know we all camp differently. And, you know, obviously I think in my mind that I camp the best, and why would anybody not do it my way? But maybe we're all a little bit like that. We all have our own little idiosyncrasies that go, you know what? And we're all on that journey.
Totally agree. Totally agree. It's it was great that people actually felt confident enough to put stuff on the group because and on our socials because it's just really great to see people out in the field doing stuff, whether it's lighting fires, making a brew, camping for the first time, camping for the 100th time. It's just lovely to see it all shared. So please, people, keep doing that. If you haven't joined our Facebook, our private Facebook group, it's over there on Facebook. It's a private group. It's Casual Camping Podcast. Ask to come in. We'll probably let you in. It's and it's a friendly bunch in there.
It was a really friendly bunch. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like we were talking about purchasing. So there was a lot of chat this week about event sales. So Snow Peak had a sale. Like the conversations about what people have been looking at. Sometimes you don't get a spring sale in camping world generally.
No.
So, Snow Peak did. I purchased something. Other people purchased something. There was a lot of stuff going on there. And when get my words out. When one person purchases, we all purchase. We all get that little glow of, ooh, yeah, is there something I want?
Yeah. Because if I've seen somebody else buy something, it makes me immediately think, well, I could get something too. And kind of you instantly feel less guilty because someone else has already, pulled the trigger, and you're like, well, I'll get myself something then. It's Although I've managed not to. I haven't purchased anything in the spring sale.
Yeah, well, I purchased something for somebody else, so which I feel good. It was 45 quid down to 36, and then they charged me £6 posting. So I saved £3. But I saved £3, Tim.
There you go.
Yes, but yeah, it's a funny old thing, is that. But it's just really nice to have that conversation. And I wasn't out. I am out for the next 3 weeks. So I've got camping Friday night. I've got camping for 2 nights the following week. And we're up in Cumbria for a couple of nights the weekend after. So it's yippity doo dah. Spring has sprung.
You are literally it's almost like you do a camping podcast.
Honestly, I love it so much. I'm sort of already thinking of what's the food that I'm taking, what's the setup I'm taking. I've even been messing around with stuff for the barter barn and going like, ooh, do I really want to give this away? Do I really want to sort of barter it away for other things? So, but it's got to be done.
We were having a good chat about that on my way home from work. It's believe it or not, people, we actually talk to each other outside of this podcast, which is bizarre. But
I mean, there's a rumor going around the internet that we're not even brothers, Tim. I mean, I think it was circulated by our mother, but it's just all for show for the podcast.
Oh, God. Well, I look like Dad. So, are you the Miltmans?
Let's just say I'm not getting one of them genealogy flipping things. Oh dear!
You're 3/4 Spanish.
¿Qué pasa?
I wondered why you always had a nap in the afternoon.
Can't even do it.
You got Italian again.
I know.
Hey,
Sabeta, civil play. It's civil play French, it is, isn't it? I really mix my languages then.
Oh my God.
People don't come here for languages, Tim.
No, this isn't Linguisto.
Camping Linguisto. Scotcho.
It's a tent.
Oh my God. I know we're not allowed to sing for tunes, but can we also probably we shouldn't be stealing the fast show's catchphrases as well.
Yeah, probably. Up-to-date TV reference, though. You can always do one of
Oh,
them. You can always do one of them. Oh,
yes.
God.
But yeah, so we are on the socials. Please follow along. Please ask to join. Please subscribe wherever you're listening to us so that, we just get that little hit. Gives us information and we know that we're doing things in the right way. I was watching some YouTube stuff the other day and I think it's Kent Survival who is excellent on the socials. Not our socials, but on his. But he does some videos online, and he did one about Lego, and it's his most watched thing, and it's like up to 1 million views now. And like he's
Wow.
doing when he does just regular camping stuff, it's sort of low numbers. And you just think, yeah, I kind of really feel for you because I think we all go through this when you're putting out content and you're trying to look at the numbers to go, hey, has this one hit down? Oh, that one's a good one. Oh, we got a lot for that. It's so subscribing is the main thing, and participating. Give us a like, give us a comment, share what you're doing. It all helps.
Absolutely. I mean, I can never make head or tail of the blooming algorithms that are going on because you can put a lot of time into making like a reel and it'll get like a few thousand views and maybe about, 30 likes or something like that. And then we literally, like with that cool box at the show, we literally just went record, did it really quickly to camera, all in one take, shoved it straight on there, 130,000 views, is it, or something that one's had? And it's like, why? Someone tell me why. If I could bottle that and do it every time, it'd be great. But
Yeah.
no idea.
Well, I've got a fair inkling. It's the Snap and Go cooler that we were showing the world, and nobody showed it better than we did.
That's very
But,
true. That's very
you
true.
know,
It's a very good reel. Most of you, I'm sure, have seen it because, the internet
yeah,
has.
the algorithm took us, and we were on that wave. We were cresting it for a little bit, but Coleman didn't even want to partake with that. So I think we did better than there.
We absolutely did because I've been watching. So yeah, 133,000 views on that one reel. That is our most successful, but
We did get a couple of comments on that as well, where people were like, "Oh, and how many days will that not keep my eyes?" And it was like, listen, you've got to forgo something. If you want something that'll pack away small,
yeah.
you're not going to get 8 days worth of ice in it, are you?
No, it's designed as a 2-day cooler.
Yeah,
It is what it is, but it's a great piece of kit.
yeah.
I
All right.
Just going back to the old socials and subscribing and leaving us comments in particular. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, leave us a 5-star mediocre review. Just take 2 minutes at the end of the show and just write why you think we're mediocre and give us 5 stars. And as this one is, you could end up on this segment of the show. So I've got a 5-star mediocre review from Sarah Delaney.
Sarah.
I thought you were going to say Sarah's. Sardog? No.
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 I mean,
I was waiting for you then.
yeah, no. I don't think I should give people nicknames anymore. People have had words.
Well, Sarah says, loving so much this podcast, makes me laugh, gives me ideas, and just reinforces how fab the camping community is. Keep the podcast coming, boys. We haven't been called boys in a long time, but we'll take it.
Taking any flipping chance I can get it. But yes. No, thank you, Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah. I just love the camping community as well. I think there's people that are just so lovely, and essentially, we're all out there in very thin fabric kind of things. So we have to be nice to each other because you can't hide behind a big wall because it's canvas.
Very true, very true. And, none of us are axe murderers because, as we talked about before, axes go through tent walls really easy.
Yeah. Wouldn't you be annoyed if you had an axe and you caught like one of those new fabric kind of things and it bounced back a little bit? Caught the pole. Like, what?
Oh, God. No, so what are we talking about, Ed? Because what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Let's just have a chat, Tim.
What are you talking about,
no. So we're talking about off some of the comments that we've had this weekend about people that are getting out there, and I guess it's kind of the access. What enables you to have the access and continue doing your favourite thing, which is camping, maybe longer than you thought you would be. I'm 55 now. I was watching something last year, and it was the gone fishing thing with Bob Mortimer.
Oh, yeah.
And they decided that they go around like fancy places and have lovely lunches, and then they go to a swanky little house. And one night they went, we're actually camping, so they had tents and stuff. And I think Bob got up the following morning, like aches and pains, like, oh my God, that's, I'm not doing that again. And it made me think about, actually, when do I think I can camp till?
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting, really, isn't it? Because I can remember the time when I decided I needed a stand-up tent. I was in the North Face tent, and I was doing like morning yoga just to try and twist and contort myself to get my pants on. It's
that's undercrackers to you Americans, not your trousers.
Yeah,
undercrackers.
Oh God! But you know what it's like. You're in this like coffin little tent, and my North Face tent isn't that small. It's a 2-man tent, but it's you can't properly sit up in it, and you're just crawling in and out and in and out, and I'm on my hands and knees, and it doesn't have a flooring in the porch area, so you're literally crawling into the tent, and your knees are dirty, and I just thought this is a real pain in the ass. I need, I wasn't, I'm only going back about 6 or 7 years. It's, but I was literally like, I can't keep doing this. I cannot keep doing this. This is just ridiculous. And it wasn't that I wasn't comfortable because I had a couple of Sims that I always took, and I had a reasonable night's sleep. But it's just the absolute convenience of crawling in and out on my hands and knees, and I just thought, yeah, I've had enough, and that's when I bought the first bell tent and thought I've got to have a tent I can stand up in to give me that longevity. Otherwise, camping's going to potentially become a little bit miserable in areas, and I don't want it to do that because I love camping and I want to keep going out in the field. So I switched to a stand up tent.
And I mean, I remember the same sort of thing, and I don't know whether it's age, inactivity, trousers getting a bit sort of tight when you bend over and things, needing a comfortable chair to sit in, or whatever those things are.
Yeah.
But you're right. There comes a time when lying down trying to get clothed becomes just a little bit more difficult. Just does, I think you could be the fittest person in the world and you just lose a bit of those things. But interesting there, I was thinking, well, I don't know, Bob Mortimer's, what is he, 60, 65?
Something
He's
like that.
Not that much older than me, and he's quite a bit older actually, but, but I was thinking, actually, would I not be camping in 10 years' time?
Yeah, Yeah.
And I was like, well, I just can't imagine that because I mean, other than the amount of stuff I take, having to slim it down because I don't want to take it to the thing, to the campsite, or carry it all in and stuff. But I was thinking, actually, I've got a really comfortable bed when I go away. I've got, I'm not on the floor anymore. I can stand up. I've got a chair in the tent. I've got all the convenience and I can still get out there. And, I can afford some of those things. It's just it's a real interesting thing as we all get older, maybe,
I don't necessarily think it's just about age, though. I don't think it's just an age thing. I think it's a camping smarter thing. I think it's about camping a bit more sensibly. I
sensibly.
He says,
wait on a second.
Down in his beer. Oh dear. No, I think it's about camping smarter. I think it's I'm the young spriteful age of 50, and I'm reasonably fit and healthy. I know, my heart's rubbish.
to be honest, Tim.
Yeah, this argument's not working, is it?
And with one single phrase, Tim sunk the argument.
But I don't think it's about. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's about, if I'd have if I'd have had the money and thought really years ago to have bought a bell tent, when actually they weren't that common back then, so they were a bit harder to get, and I'd have gone and got one, I'd still be camping in a bell tent now because it's a stand up tent.
They're common now.
Ouch! They are a bit, aren't they? They are a bit. You nasty bastard!
He's just using you.
You know I've fallen out of love with that 3-meter bell. You're just poking me there. You know I want that Vango tent.
Go the Vango route. Go the Vango route. Either pop the tent on the fire next time, or, I mean, it's cracking. Could go to the barter barn.
Blood.
Exactly. What? Tim, it's dead to you. It's dead to you. I've got to watch my back when I'm at the barter barn because, I'm almost dead to you sometimes. I can see it when we're doing this podcast and you go, you better do more this week. Otherwise, that's it. He's going on the barter barn.
I wouldn't get much for you, Ed. It's it'd have to be one of those forfeits on a slice of pizza job.
I'm thinking sort of Manuel from Faulty Towers. He helps around the camp there. Okay, fire.
And you're on fire with your up-to-date TV references this week.
I tell you what, I really am. Yeah,
you talk about your sleeping system all the time, and actually, I read somebody else going on about the exact same sleeping system today on one of the groups I follow. The Decathlon airbed thing and a big thick sim on top. That too is about camping smarter, isn't it? It means that you're not crawling on the floor and putting your clothes on the floor and having to sleep on the floor and then get all the way up. You're kind of already raised up at normal bed height.
Because that's the other odd thing when you're in a tent that you can stand up in. I think it looks really odd when you're just lying on the ground on a little sim. I was like, what you doing with all that space there and stuff? Get and if you want to caveman it out by all means. But
if you got the height, make full use of it. I thought that when we went to Edale for the winter camping episode, and I shared the tent with Matt, I said to him, "Have you got like a camp bed to get you off the ground?" And he went, "Oh no, I've just got a sim." And it's like, "No, it's fine." But it's like you're laying closest to the floor, and we've got a tent stove that's heating all the air that's like up at the top of this really tall 9 foot tent. So it's
Yeah,
like get yourself up into the warm air, and it
yeah.
it does look weird. It does look a bit funny when you're just sort of on a sim in a stand up tent.
And so that's the thing. It's the difference about the fact that being comfortable, you replicate it. You're traveling. You're on a site. You're like, but those luxuries that you have at home shouldn't be less so. So years ago, I've come to this, and I would say, and I've said on the podcast previously, the last thing I spent money on was my sleeping system. I'd had loads of tents, I'd had this and I'd had that, and they were all good, and I love them all, and I had great times with them. And then it was when we couldn't camp, when COVID happened, that I bought a different sleeping system, and I got a lovely tent. I didn't need a new tent. I wasn't going out, so I had a bit of extra money. I was like, you know what? Maybe now's the time I invest in a good sleeping mat, a good under thing to get me off the floor. And I've not looked back. And, even similarly, I mean, we were up in Edale in January, and we were talking to that guy with the airbeam tent. And he was like, it was brilliant. His setup was great, but he had the cheapest double bed thing that he was sharing with his partner, and it went down in the night. So at like 3 in the morning, he was trying to pump it back up again and stuff. And I was like, actually, you're out camping. You don't need, yes, you want to maybe be together, but I've got two separate single ones that means that you can they're hooked together. But yeah, we're independent of each other, so you get a better night's sleep that way, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, and that prolongs your lifespan of camping, doesn't it? Because we've both talked about actually, do we, at what point do we bite the bullet on moving to a camper van
Yeah,
and do that? I mean, not that either of us can afford to do that, but we've talked at length of, well, at some point I won't be able to go camping anymore, and I'll have to get a camper van. Well, actually, if you make these changes early enough, where you can stand up in the tent, you've got a decent bed that you can sit on, you get a decent chair, you use a proper table,
yeah.
you get all those things in place. That actually negates that thought of, oh, at some point I'm going to have to get a van. Well, you don't need to get a van if you camp smarter and get all those things in place way before it's a struggle. You're going to be camping for donkey's years.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? That maybe the people that we hear about that are going, oh God, I camped last night, and my back, and all of this, and they're trying to camp like they did when they were 20.
Yep, absolutely. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point I'm trying to make. Is like,
yeah. And yet, what I've noticed is, you lose a bit of muscle mass, so things just hurt in a different way, kind of, if you've been. But actually, you can protect yourself. Okay, sometimes that costs a bit of money, but it doesn't have to. You could get double up on your sleeping mats. My mate who I'm going camping with, he's got a foil one for the underneath. He's got a blow up one for thing, and then he's got like a little down quilt thing that he puts on top of that to protect there and give him a bit of extra heat. So he's got three things together. I don't think any of them cost him that much money.
yeah, yeah. It's just being a bit smarter, isn't it? With your aches and pains, but actually, the advice really is think about it before you get the aches and pains. Make those changes. Make some of those suggested changes. It's great if you want to, if you're in your 20s and you want to have a little tiny one-man coffin and go climbing hills and mountains and stuff. And if you want to do that into your 40s and your 50s and your 60s, and beyond, great. But I don't think that's sustainable for every camping trip every weekend. I think having the mix. I've got a little one-man tent, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But there's no way I'm camping in that every time I go camping, because it's too restrictive. And I've got the crawly in and out of my tent thing again, and contort my legs to put my undercrackers on. I don't want to do that, and nobody wants to see that. Silhouetted against the side of the tent.
Tim, I've seen you when you camped in a flipping tarp and a hammock.
I tell you what, that was the best night's sleep I've ever had, and not related to beer at all. But
isn't it what you've taught me with that? Because I like hammocks. Don't get me wrong. I love falling asleep in a hammock on a hot sunny day and kind of thing. I'm not sure I would choose one, however much you've said, oh, it's the best night's sleep I've ever had. I'm not sure that I am ever really tempted by it. And I kind of come back to Uncle Ray at the Bushcraft show a couple of years ago, who somebody was trying to say, oh yeah, hammock camping. And it was like, well, no, you hammock camp in appropriate seasons. You can hammock camp in the summer. Why are you trying to do that in the winter? It's not designed for it.
And he said you end up having to take an underquilt and an overquilt and extra stuff, which actually weighs twice as much as a small two-man tent that you're naturally going to be warmer in anyway.
Yeah.
Which does make complete sense. I think you should try it because, in summer, the last time I went, it was cold. It was too cold for hammock camping. I haven't got rid of it. It might make it onto the Barter barn, actually, because I'm probably, if you're not going to use it again, I'm probably not going to, because I was proper cold and a bit spooked, to be honest, because it's just so open. I was a bit freaked out in the woods with just like staring out at the woods. It was a bit weird. But
with Rambo Rat staring back at you.
I know. It was the same site as Rambo Rat, only I didn't know Rambo Rat was there.
Definitely not doing that this time.
No way. I mean, blow my neck. That was a big rat. That was a really big rat. But it was an incredibly comfortable night's sleep, and actually maybe moving into, we've got some bushcrafters who listen to the show and on the socials. I am thinking of Ian over in the Isle of Wight. Isle of Man. Sorry, Isle of Man.
Oh,
don't shout at me, Ian. Don't shout at me.
You offended a whole country there, Tim.
I know. That's somewhere else I'm not allowed to go. But he's definitely I say this in respect, but he's an older gentleman, and but he does an awful lot of hammock camping, and makes himself very comfortable. And from that comfort point of view of being able to still go out in, when I'm much older than I am now, actually a hammock's probably not a bad shout, because it's you hang it as high as you want it to be, so it's a comfortable height to get in and out of. It's really good for your back. It was like so comfortable, and it weighs nothing, so you're not carrying a lot of stuff. Because that's the other issue is, as I get older, there's, I'm annoying myself at the moment with the amount of stuff I'm having to carry out into the field, and the bulk of it all and the weight of it all. A hammock tent literally weighs nothing. It's the lightest stuff you could ever camp with. It weighs nothing at all. So from that point of view, actually, it's probably not a bad shout.
Yeah, but as I was saying before, it's appropriate kind of stuff, isn't it? Because midsummer, certainly in the UK, you can get overnight showers. You can get, So you're always going to have a tarp with it, setting up all of those things. But, you're right. I think it's that comfort level versus, this is what I need to do now.
Mm.
And, we take an awful lot of stuff. We are going to sites where we have to walk that stuff in sometimes, which I think is crazy.
That for me will change in the future.
Yeah, I think so.
I can do that now. It's a pain. It's actually a bit of a challenge. It tends to, I think already it takes me an extra trip that it probably wouldn't have done 10, 15 years ago. I mean, that's probably the volume of stuff I'm taking more than anything else. But in the future, I'm not going to be going to sites where I've got to carry stuff in, even with a trolley or a wheelbarrow or something like that. I'm just not going to do that. I want to camp next to my car. I want to be able to get stuff out of my car and put it up, even if it then means I've got to move the car and go park it somewhere. I want to be unloading my stuff. I don't want to be carrying all my stuff somewhere. So I think that'll change. That'll change for me.
Yeah, I think that will certainly change for me because we've started to see it. And maybe it's just the sites that we're going to, and they're lovely sites. Don't get me wrong, but there's one that we went to as a family just after COVID, and it sticks with me that we obviously the crossover kind of thing. It was a lovely site that overlooked sort of Oxfordshire, and it had a little shed with its own toilet. And as a family, we kind of went. And everybody goes, that was such a lovely weekend. Oh, that was great. Oh, it was good. And all I can ever think of with that site is you gave us wheelbarrows on like a divoty kind of grass lane that would like just shook everything. So everything kept on falling off. And yeah, it was just 200 yards from the car. And I kind of think with the amount of stuff, I've just always gone, no, I'm not going back there. You guys don't take as much stuff as I do. What's the point? At least make it smooth for us or whatever. And so there's those kind of things. And I think
we went to Baxby Manor, didn't we? And we've been a couple of times, near York. Beautiful site, lots of privacy wherever your pitch is. But the first time we went, they put us down in the sort of adults only section, down in the woods, miles away from everyone else, which was great. We were in what I would say is probably the best part of that campsite, but it's a long way from where you have to park your cars, and they've got wheelbarrows, and it was a hell of a long way, wasn't it? And it was 2 or 3 trips, for me just to get my stuff there. It's so we did learn that the next time that we went, we actually booked a pitch that was literally right next to where we were going to be parking the cars. And it was an awful lot better. Not as pretty a pitch as down in the woods next to the stream and everything, but actually it was a really lovely pitch. And we just kind of thought, again, camp smarter. Think about, if you can book a specific pitch somewhere, book a pitch that's next to the parking so that you haven't got as far to go. Have you got a dog? Have you got a dog?
I've got a cold is what I've got.
No.
Yeah, we did talk about actually booking 2 pitches, the one that's near the car park and then a party pitch in the woods so that we could make a little bit more noise and nobody'd get offended with us. But in the end, we was just like, sod that. It costs an extra bit for that. We're not doing it.
No, we just had fun anyway.
Well, we bring the party, Tim. We bring the party.
We do.
But, getting back to, what as a roundup, what are those things that elongates your camping experience? I do think I'm 55. I still enjoy camping. I get a good night's sleep. I, still party quite hard when we're there. And I just think, yeah, nothing seems to be changing for me, and I can't see that it will. But
But
in 10 years.
I would say you've made a lot of the changes though already. You know, we've been talking about get a stand-up tent, sort out your bed, your sleeping system so it's good for your back, and get a good chair. Think about where you're camping and how you get your stuff, you know, the volume of stuff you're taking so that, you know, how much are you carrying, and try and make some of it a bit more lightweight so you're not having to carry as much. You've made all of those changes already. So you've kind of future-proofed yourself to the fact that actually with your current setup, you could still be camping in 20 years' time quite comfortably.
As a 75-year-old man, jeez.
Hey, we're still going to be doing this podcast then. I mean, we won't have any listeners, but you know, we'll still be doing it.
Hello, Tim. How's your sciatica?
What? What did you say?
Pardon?
How's my apple pie?
There's people going, it's a little bit like that now, actually. Oh, dear.
I have not future-proofed myself like you have. And I haven't done that yet. Yes, I've got some stand-up tents. My sleeping system's all right, but it's not when I sleep when I sleep with my other half.
When she lets you. Oh God, please let me know she's not listening.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh dear. Maybe this is the show we edit.
I'm so sorry.
But when I camp with her, we use a thick double sim that sorry, he's gone. He's gone.
You use a what? Tim, move on. Move on quickly.
Oh God. I use a monster mat. It's a good-looking monster mat. It's oh man, you filth! You're a filth monster. It's so I use this Empire monster mat, but it's a thick sim that's like 10 centimeters thick, but it's on the floor. We've got nothing to put it on, so you know, I haven't future-proofed myself as well as you have. I need to maybe rethink that and get something that's a bit higher that we don't have to crawl around on the floor, because we are in the 4-meter bell tent crawling around on the floor, which is a bit stupid, really. But so yeah, I think you've done better. As always, you absolute swine. You've done better than me at this. It's I think you could be camping in your existing setup for years to come, whereas I'm going to have to go shopping for a better tent. I think that Vango tent, it's a good tent. I can stand up in it. It'll take, you know, it's got big straight sides to it, so it'll take a decent sort of raised bed. I think I'm gonna have to phone Chris at Vango.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do for you, Tim, right, is I'm gonna loan you one of the Decathlon underbase things next time we're camping together at the end of April.
Okay.
You've got a sim, haven't you, that you can put on it?
Yeah, it's only a thin one. It's only does it need a thick one?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, probably we could put something else down and do it, but I'm going to loan you it and just see. So because you generally have.
I normally use the Outwell metal camp bed, which I have to say is really heavy. It's a heavy piece of kit to take out.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say, because you've given me a bed frame that I use with my
the swag.
Yeah. And what I find with those is that you kind of, if you lay on your back, you round your shoulders a little bit because you sit in the hollow of them. Whereas what actually happens with the under frame from Decathlon is that's got struts that kind of pop up a little bit. So it's kind of the opposite, but you've also got give in them as well. Whereas actually with beds and those frames that you've got, it's taut fabric. It's like sleeping in a camp chair almost, but flat.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so that there's very little give to that. There's very little spring, whereas you get that with the underwear. So I'm gonna loan you it, and we're gonna talk about it afterwards, just to see.
Okay. No, I'd really like to try it, to be honest, because there's that many people that go on about it. I was, like I say, I saw someone's post today, and I thought, I think I probably need to switch to this, but how do I do that without Ade finding out?
Well, the thing is that it works for me.
Yeah.
I've talked long and hard about it to a lot of people, and I think it's just that thing of. I think one time we went camping when we first when I had the tent teepee, and we sat on my bed most of the night.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just a very nice pitch, just
it's a good
a
height
foot or so.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant, really, really good. So yeah, I'm going to loan you it and just see whether or not you notice the difference. I've probably even got I could loan you the whole sleeping system, to be honest.
I think you should. I think you should carry it as well. I suppose the last the last top tip to keep yourself camping when it might be a struggle in years to come is to camp with someone who's younger than you who can take it all and put it all up for you.
Hey.
You've had a son for that. I'm out of luck really, but you need to train Nye, don't you, to get him doing
cousin knife, get him. The thing is that he does like camping, but he's at an age where he's like, well, can we go into town?
Yeah. It's got to be a pub nearby. It's got to be a pub.
Yeah.
Should we go to a minute mindfulness?
Yes.
Welcome to the Casual Camping Minute Mindfulness. Let the sounds of nature take you back to the camping field.
There you go. Get yourself out in nature. Go on. That's inspired somebody. At least one of you out there has listened to that and thought, you know what? I need to get out. I need to get out and go camping. So go.
Make those. What's your local campsite? Where do you want to go? It might not be your best one, but as we were saying last week, it might be just the difference between I've got night. I'm going to go there. I'm going to take my smallest setup and just going to go. So, do it.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Tim and Ade gave you permission. Yeah,
if you get any pushback from anyone, just say Tim and Ade said it was all right. And they'll go, oh, well, yeah, I suppose it is then.
Yeah.
No one can argue against us. It's us. So one last thing I suppose to say is obviously you've mentioned the barter barn earlier on today. We're going to keep plugging this because we really want people who are going to the Bushcraft show to know about it and to bring some stuff to barter with us. So we're going to have a load of stuff on this table, no cash involved. Bring your items that are still, have inherent value in them, and come and play swapsies with us and see what we can exchange for it. It's and if you're thinking about coming to the Bushcraft show, that's in the second bank holiday in May here in the UK, then use our code CCP15 for 15% off day tickets and weekend tickets, and we will be there. So come and find us and say hello.
Yeah, and if you think, oh, bushcraft, I like camping, but bushcraft isn't for us, me and Tim are not hardy campers, and they made us feel welcome. And we're
really
back.
really did. I mean, they
Well,
laughed
we really is.
We tried a bit of bushcrafting, and they kind of laughed at our bushcraft skills. But they also taught us a load of stuff, and that was really nice. Very friendly bunch of people. So come along and just have a laugh. Have a laugh. Be great to see people there. But as always, find us on the socials. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening, and leave us a mediocre 5-star review.
Tim, you're on fire. You've hit all the flipping tags there.
I'm learning from the master. I normally completely forget.
Well, I think all that's left to say is we've been Casual Campers, and we'll catch you on the next one. I've been Ade.
And I've been Tim. Bye-bye.
Casual Camping Podcast accepts no liability and does not officially recommend any products or endorse any techniques discussed in an individual podcast episode or shown on Casual Camping Podcast social media accounts. Individuals should make their own informed decision and risk assessment of any products or advice prior to any purchase or use.